when Bloor came out with their proposals initially, they were looking at nearly 1,000 houses, 950 houses on the site. Now they subsequently scaled that back to 800, but I and others registered real concern about what the impact of that would be on the local area, including concerns raised by West Midlands Ambulance Service about the impact of extra traffic congestion on response times from a local ambulance hub, which is just literally down the road from this development. I also raised concerns that had been put to me and I'd had myself about possible flood risk from a major development like this in an area which is at the moment has always been a kind of natural soakaway with the golf course being there. Now Bloor say they're going to address that. I hope that's the case, but I think that needs to be really, really carefully scrutinised and monitored, because I don't want us to get to a stage of more flooding in an area that's already been affected by flooding. In overall terms, the decision of the planning inspector endorsed by the Secretary of State means the development can go ahead, but there are a number of conditions put on it, and Bloor are required to consult with and liaise with and work with the council in terms of the detail of that development and how it takes place, as well as things like making sure that concerns about traffic, which I and others raised, are properly addressed, in terms of things like making sure that fears about flood risk are properly addressed. So the council does still have an involvement, and I'd like to see the council be much more proactive in pushing Bloor to involve local people in a much more dynamic way than they've done so far.
So I'm Naomi Fisher from ASPEC Architects. I'm a director of the practice. We're a small Birmingham-based practice, been around just over 50 years, and I've been at the practice as a director about 15 years. So we're at the early stages of developing designs for the proposals, and as a practice we take a really community-led approach and a very immersive approach, i.e. that we see ourselves as creative facilitators and obviously technical specialists in architecture, but we always say it's the communities and the people we're building for who are the experts in the brief of what's required. So we're in that very much a listening stage at the moment, trying to find out what the need is or what the potential is and the interests of the local community and what they feel should be built. We've got quite a short period on this one. We'd normally want 2 or 3 months, but because there's a planning deadline to meet, we're having quite an intense sort of period of about 4 to 6 weeks of just trying to speak to lots of community stakeholders, so schools, existing community groups, lots of third sector or public sector organisations working in the area, hopefully to some local people. I'm speaking to a school next week who's going to set up a meeting with some local families, just so that we can really hear from people's experience on the ground, whether they people working in the area with a lot of local residents or the residents themselves, about where the gaps are in provision, what is needed.
I live down bottom end by Longbridge, where all that new building's being done.
So I guess you don't really feel then that you've had your voice heard about it?
No, not really. I didn't even know until I saw the bulldozers.
Yeah, and then it was there.
Stop at the lights when it changes red, and that's it. You come on to the roadworks with hardly any notice at all.
I think people should write to Bloor, and to let them know their concern, say that they want to be kept informed of what the plans are, and they want to be consulted about things that affect them. That's really important. They should certainly keep in touch with their local councillor. At the moment, Councillor Ollie Armstrong is the councillor for the area. He's very active on this issue, very active in the area. He's sadly standing down in May, but there will be another councillor for the area. So it's important that local people do let them know what their views on this development are going to be.
They can email us at post@apec.ac. That's our general one, that'll get distributed to the right person. We're very happy for people to just send us any thoughts that they have on it, or if they just want to be kept up to date when we do some more formal consultation once we've got some design proposals. But anything, even if there's any organisations that they know of in the area looking for space, that's one of our questionnaire questions.